Hello, listeners. This is Lee Price.
This is Will Ford from Football 365.
And you're listening smartly to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast, although I would describe it as the Chelsea FC podcast.
Magical from Eden Hazard. Kai Havertz in the Champions League final. Ivanovic! In the middle, it's just behind him. But it's tapped in by Hakim Ziyech. Matic with the ball driver. Matic takes the net off. Hat-trick hero. Cole Palmer wins an epic, sensational game.
It's time for another episode of At the Bridge Pod, your number one Chelsea FC podcast. Coming up on this episode,
his name is Joao Pedro. He loves the barbell. He goes to the gym with Tosin. Whoa, Joao Pedro. Oh, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of At the Bridge Pod. And I am your host, Mike, and I am joined in a virtual room filled with Uno, it's just Uno. I teased you on the Discord. Uno Lions. Uno Lyonnais, actually. Uno Lyonnais. I've got Chris. Friday show on a Thursday. Chris, what are you looking forward to this weekend? It's going to be really warm here. Like, really warm.
Yeah, I'm not looking forward to that.
Sun cream. Loads of sun cream.
It's too hot today, and it's going to get hotter.
That is true.
So I've struggled today. So I have got some football training this weekend if we actually do it. It depends on the heat because do you know, I've had over the last 2 weeks, I've had so many girls miss training because they've been on school trips and ended up coming back with sunstroke.
Shit.
That I think what the school's doing.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. We'll save that for the school education, the Department of Education podcast, I think.
Yeah.
But hey, if you're warm, just think
you can go for a swim,
and you'll be fine, and it'll be all good. But always apply sun cream after you get out the pool because it will wash. Just common sense, listener. Come on. Talking of walks, I've listened.
Go for a walk
because that's what I'm doing tomorrow evening, all being well, as the sun sets with my girlfriend. Because I've decided she doesn't know this, and she doesn't listen to the show, so it's fine. It won't spoil it. And then I'm going on a city trip to Gloucester. So again, she won't listen.
Nice.
She won't listen. She doesn't listen. So it's fine. It won't spoil it at all. So, and if she does,
that is gonna be one hot drive.
Yeah, I was looking at a beach that's sort of near where I said it was in Wales. It's not. It's on literally in England. It's the other side of Wales. It's nowhere near. It's just over the sea from Wales, so it doesn't count. But that was a 2-hour drive, and I thought 2 hours in 31 heat. No,
thank you.
No. But I have got games of the weekend because Saturday I've got 8 p.m. I've got the Group C finale at the Women's Euros. Final day of Group C. All to play for, sort of all to play for. Well, sort of. Denmark and Poland are both fighting to avoid the dreaded 0 points. So,
nice.
Oh yeah, I was so happy when we won 1-0 up against Germany, and then it just went all to shit. But already qualified Sweden and Germany face off for top spot and bragging rights. Good one for the women's team for us actually, because Canarid's in the Swedish team obviously, and she's been pretty good so far. So yeah, Sunday, 8 p.m. Club World Cup final, Chelsea, big event. I mean, we're in the final. We're against PSG. We'll preview it later. Wild journey, red cards, weather delays, wonder goals, a trophy's on the line. I told you, listener. You've got to get there. When you're in there, it don't matter how you got there. One-off game, anything can happen. And talking of anything can happen. Here we go, 9 p.m. I know you'll be watching the Club World Cup, but you'll keep an eye on this one. Because over in Argentina's Federal A Zona, hey, you know our friends of the pod, Kimberley, are back in action. Final match of the campaign, big one. They're facing second place Villa Mitre. Can they pull off a shock, end the season on a high? I believe in them. So come on, vamos. Come on. I don't know how it works after that. It's like a group stage turns into I don't understand that. We'll get to that another week, so I'm not worried. I'm now going to look at Shevva Shoutouts. I am a little bit worried because we have 16 and I've not read a single one. So as always, here we go. L House 75. Any player you could sign. Mikey didn't understand the assignment, but would love Eze. Chris, class choice. He would be the best Maresca centre-forward possible. He might have had 35 last season with his better finishing. All of the ghosted crosses, would play off Palmer really well. Who the fuck did you pick?
Rafael Leao.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Makes sense. I did actually reply saying, what was the assignment? And they didn't reply. So I don't know what the assignment was. You said sign any player, so I picked Eze. I'd pick him. I don't know what more I'm meant to do. Sam Smith, I do love your podcast. It's an absolute blast. And Mike is the best host ever. Oh, thanks. I didn't write that. Play Esteval for sure. He'll be better than Madueke. I think it'd be lucky escape getting rid of Noni. Up the Blues. Corey, the shout outs are getting very good, especially the questions and finding out where friends of the pod are listening from. I have a question. What's the kit you've always dreamed of? Favourite player, home or away, all of it. Mine is Frank Lampard, but I'm a shit fan and don't know the year. It was Samsung, gold letters on the home blue, and it was the later years when we won everything. Cheers. That, my friends, is the 2012-2013 home shirt.
Yep.
That is. And it is a very nice shirt. And people think it's because of the Champions League. It's not. It's gold because of the Olympics in London. That was what I found out when I looked at it. And I was like, that's so cool. No other team did that. Just us. Because we are London. Yeah.
I think that is my favourite Chelsea kit of all time.
It's the 03-05 away shirt for me. That white one with the blue and
We've had some lovely kits, to be fair.
Yeah, and then Nike took
but
over.
I just think that 2012-13 one is iconic.
It's iconic. It is. Jay Stone, Brazilians for Chelsea, and my GOAT, one of the greatest centre-backs of all time, Thiago Silva. How was that name the first one out?
Yeah, that is poor. That is poor from both of us there, that we was naming Brazilians who played for Chelsea and none of us said Thiago Silva, considering we was playing him as well the day after.
You know what? He's probably our greatest Brazilian player of all time. Who's played for Chelsea so far. You never know. You never know with Pedro. You never know. McFown's excellent pod. Chris, with good fair comments today. I don't know why Enzo keeps putting Reece in midfield when we have so many more natural options. Well, he didn't, did he? He got injured.
Yeah, true. He was going to, though.
He was, that's true. Space Cadet, for some reason, everyone keeps forgetting Tyreek George. Lad can fit in on the right or left. I really rate Noni, and I think he was our best wide player last season, but I fully trust Maresca now. He's got a good acumen about the style of play, and slowly we're improving in all aspects up the Chelsea. Yes, can't disagree. I mean, I rate Noni, and I'll touch on that in a minute, but yeah, I agree. Brad, I don't know. The Maresca as a loser feels a little overdone for me, Chris. Totally understand that you recognised it was nitpicking, but when there are bigger losers in this match, putting Maresca in there feels like a stretch. Outside of his goal, that was really just poor luck and poor goalkeeping. Having watched the game, Gusto was really, really poor. Or you could say Jackson is a big loser because now it looks like there are two strikers ahead of him now at the club.
I did respond to that one, to be fair.
You did. I've just read it. You did respond, and you responded quite well. You know. It is hard. You're right. It's hard to put players in losers when you didn't watch the full game. It was 2 a.m. I think that's
because the
justified.
Thing is, like Gusto might have had a shocking game, but you won't see that on highlights unless he made a mistake that led to a goal. So I can't put him as a loser because I didn't watch it.
Same. Crassus, you guys are my favourite Chelsea pod. I'm originally from Argentina, but live in Southern California. But that is insane, by the way. That is awesome. I love that. Being a Chelsea fan for over 40 years, I want to get the group's opinion. What do you guys think of a simple new FIFA rule? The goalposts and crossbar shall be considered last touch by the team defending that goal when the ball touches any part of said goal arc and goes out of play. I think it will increase corners, scoring chances, and shots on goal in general. Oh.
Interesting. I don't know, because the thing I would say there is the defending team have had no impact on that ball going out of play.
That is true. It would increase corners.
It would. It seems a little bit unfair to the defending team, though, to give a corner to a team because they've missed the goal.
I love the last bit. It would increase shots on goal in general. I'm pretty sure that players don't aim. No, I'm pretty sure players don't aim for the post. If they do, watch crossbar challenge from the Soccer AM days. Trust me, players try to hit it and they still can't. So it's definitely not planned. Mark has gone with 2 points. Firstly, the Pedro scout report just became a vintage Merlot with hints of oak and cinnamon. Yes, it did. Thank you, Mark. Secondly, the Grimsby Town away shirt is absolutely banging this season. I haven't seen it. Let me quickly look at that. Away shirt 25-26. Have you seen it, Chris?
I have not.
Fucking hell, the website. Take the piss here. Looks like Crystal Palace. That's the Crystal Palace shirt. I'll send it you in our little group chat. Hang on.
Oh, go on.
That's Crystal Palace. That is literally Crystal Palace.
Let's have a look.
That's Crystal Palace.
That is just a Crystal Palace top.
That's a Crystal Palace shirt.
I like it though.
I don't like collars, so my opinion is going to be biased against it.
That's
So
true.
I will keep quiet.
I like a collar, so I'm the opposite.
Exactly. 50 split.
And I do like the red and blue colourway, to be fair. I think those colours go together quite nice.
Joao Pedro is going to be an unbelievable player for us. I worry for Jackson. KP. Look, we are here at 13 wins in 15 now. Game was perfect. We played perfect. I have a question for the pod. Rate the coaches for Chelsea from worst to best. This is a good list. Poch, Scolari, Benitez, Sarri, Maresca. You win on Sunday. Maresca goes number 1. Can't beat that.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does. Oh, come on.
No,
who are you putting above him on that list based on how they were for Chelsea?
But I would argue that both Sarri and Benitez won a bigger trophy.
They did win the Europa League.
Which is bigger than the Conference League. And we don't know how prestigious this Club World Cup's going to be yet.
True. I'd put Scolari bottom because...
Scolari's bottom, without question.
What a disaster. I was so excited and it just was like, no.
And then I'd put Poch 4th.
Ooh, yes.
And then I'd have Maresca 3rd, Benitez 2nd, Sarri 1st.
Okay. Yeah, I can't argue with that, actually. Yeah, maybe if he wins on Sunday, I'd probably put him first. Probably. Heat rave. People are getting mad at Esteval for scoring and celebrating the goal despite being signed to us. But that's exactly the kind of mentality I love for a kid. And I love the way Mike just adds these sound effects. It's just what I love about this pod. Oh, thank you. By the way, anyone moaning about that, fuck off. He doesn't play for us yet. He doesn't play for us yet. I don't care.
Exactly.
I do. Honestly.
We do not care.
He scored. He celebrated. And you know what? It was a fucking good goal. Celebrate, mate. You don't play for us yet. So it's fine.
Exactly.
Go ahead.
And your sound drops are goated, to be fair.
Oh, thank you. And finally, Tank sums it up. Joao Pedro. That's it. That's the comment. I'm applauding. Fully agree with that one. Well, thank you as always for your reviews, thoughts, everything. If you want yours read out in the show, just drop them in Spotify on the comments on this episode, and we'll be reading them out on the next, Monday show. So, with that, let's hit some news. Kind of a quick trip in the elevator of Chelsea news because it's been a quiet week. Mike Penders is close to joining Strasbourg on a season-long loan. Andrea Berta believes Arsenal's £50 million move of Madueke is value for money as he sees him to be worth $65 million in today's market. Bournemouth are close to agreeing a deal for Petrovic. Katerina Marcario has secured a 10-year deal, $10 million sponsor deal with Nike. Sam Kerr is back in full team training with Australia. Mir Official has left Chelsea and joined Seattle Reign. Matthias Amugu is heading to Strasbourg permanently. And finally, Curacao have announced a major Dick extension. Dick Advocat has extended his deal as the national team boss till the end of 2025. And I am happy to say it's good to see Dick going hard at it for the rest of the year. And I'm sure it'll all come good in the end. Great to see. Yes.
Yeah, very good.
You know what? I've got 2 things actually. I'll get off the first one's actually, you know what? I'll go with 3. Matthias Amugu to Strasbourg permanently, Chris, broke about an hour ago. He's not a real player. He's not a real signing.
Honestly.
What was it?
What a waste of time that was.
Like Joao Felix, who looks like he's going to Benfica permanently. Again, what was the point?
Yeah, no point in any. I mean, let's face it, we didn't want Felix, did we? We signed him to get the Gallagher deal done.
We wanted Samu. He was known as Amoradion. He's now. I'm not going to butcher his name. So call him Samu. We wanted Samu, and obviously it didn't happen. So we were like, PSR.
Yeah,
there's not much else to say to that. But one thing I will get off my chest: Noni Madueke to Arsenal again, but this time I took a little field trip into the mind of the Arsenal fan base because by that I read their tweets. Oh my word, was it toxic? Weren't the word? The fumes coming off those posts had me reaching for a gas mask. Did you see the no to Madueke hashtag trend?
No.
Holy shit! I clicked it out of
It's a
curiosity.
bit excessive, isn't it?
I clicked it like you do. You see a burning building and you think, oh, I'll have a look. My word, it was a riot of negativity. You had the kind of replies you expect, memes, people acting like Madueke had run over their cat or spoilt the ending of a film they love. I did think, because Twitter is Twitter. We know Twitter. Come on.
Yeah.
I thought, let's check other platforms. Literally the same. I walked into the Arsenal fan lair and came out with bruises because the verdict's loud and clear. Reddit, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, they do not want him, especially for that £50 million fee. And it'll be more than that. Honestly, I like Madueke. Honestly, if I'm Noni, I'm going to do a 180. I'm going to Maresca's office tomorrow and just like, boss, forget it. I'm first in, last out. I'll make your teas. I'll run the warm-ups. I'll paint the lines on the training pitch. Whatever you want, I'm staying. Because genuinely, why on a personal level now, why would you willingly walk into a club where the fans are already treating you like a bad transfer before you've even put on the shirt?
So true.
Why? Like, seriously, I would be paying attention to that. That's not a fresh start because you're going to join because you think fresh start, blah, blah, blah. You're basically walking into a house fire and offering to bring some fuel. What's the point, mate? You're actually he's liked at Chelsea. You know, he's not burnt any bridges. Not yet. I know he's agreed a deal, but that's not burning a bridge. He hasn't upset anyone enough. I don't know. That's my take.
It's so funny, though, that Arsenal fans now are acting like that towards Madueke, who, listen, he's not a game-changing signing,
No,
but he's not a terrible player either.
No.
50 million, let's face it. I think Ollie said it on the last show. Absolutely spot on. Like, 50 is the new 30. You used to pay 30 million for players. Now you pay 50. That's sort of a base rate now. If you get someone for less than 50, you've done really well. Anthony Alanga's just gone for 55 million, for Christ's sake. So
yeah, that's wild, isn't it?
Yeah, it's mad. It just makes me laugh with Arsenal because to be so against signing Madueke, but look at their alternatives. Like the wingers you've got, aside from Saka, are shit. Gabriel Martinelli is one of the worst players I've ever seen. He's absolutely horrendous. He scores like one good goal, and everyone goes, "Oh yeah, he's really good." Yeah, he scored one goal in like 15 games. He's not. He's shit. You know, Trossard is okay. Is he better than Madueke? No. The only winger they've got who's really good is Saka. So I don't get the big uproar from. It's because their fans want Rodrigo, don't they? From Real Madrid.
They want Rodrigo and Gyökeres, which that seems to be. Whenever I see a deal, he's dead in the water. I still am not convinced Mike Mignon is dead in the water because it's the transfer window. The most bizarre things happen. We signed David Luiz on deadline day. That alone taught me.
Good signing as well.
Brilliant signing, but it's the fact that no one saw that the day before, and then
Exactly.
Hello. I'm always very reserved when it comes to transfers. You just know, you always expect the unexpected. On a brighter note, absolutely been fantastic to see Chelsea's women shine at the Euros. Hannah Hampton and Lauren James linked up for England in their 4-0 win over the Netherlands. That's just class. Hannah looked like what we know from her, calm, composed, pretty much had an assist for Lauren James.
Yeah, like a top-class goalkeeper who deserves her chance. And just because you liked Mary Earps doesn't mean you have to hate Hannah Hampton, by the way, to all of those fans who have been slagging her off online.
Yeah, for the context, Mary Earps chose to retire.
Yeah, exactly.
This Mary Earps walked away.
Yeah, and I like Mary Earps.
Same.
I am a fan of Mary Earps, but I'm not going to slag Hannah Hampton off because Earps decided to quit.
No, exactly. I mean, I've got nothing but. Well, I mean, we all know how good Hannah Hampton is. Yeah, she's an amazing player. I think she's local. Yeah, she's local girl to the area, isn't she? For us,
Yeah, Studley.
Yeah, considering. So, yeah. And Lauren James again, amazing. I mean, what can you say? It's Lauren James. I still can't believe Man United were happy to go. Yeah, we'll sell her. It's like, thank you, love that.
I don't get that either.
It is Man United. They don't make any sense to me.
That is true. Yeah, they are stupid.
And I get to, of course, Scandinavian representative Johanna Writing-Kanneryd deserves a shout out because quietly bossing it for Sweden. Her movement, passing energy on the wing. Sweden are having a decent tournament so far. Whether they can go deep into the tournament, I don't know, because it's obviously a 16. Is it a 16 team tournament? Yes, it is. So you're straight into the quarterfinals, aren't you?
Yeah.
So it's the old classic Euro style. So yeah, it's to be fair though, it's great to see the Chelsea representatives thriving on the international stage. It bodes well for the season ahead as well. We did have that one quick bit of news that dropped, shocked me. Don't know if it shocked you. Me official Seattle Reign. I'm not sad because that's not in a mean way. She's going to get paid so well, and considering she's come off that horrible injury, to get that deal, and she's going back to America, she's going to be so happy with that. I cannot blame her. Like, fair play, all the best, and she's going to Seattle. So straight away, I'm like, oh, even better. What do you think of the whole goodbye that we're now saying?
It's a shame on our part that she never really got her Chelsea career started because of that injury that she got. And then, like I've said before, when we spoke about the men's team, the problem is when you get long-term injuries like hers, the team moves on without you because it has to. Especially top teams who want to be successful, they can't wait for people to get fit for over a year. Like they go and sign someone else to play. So then you get even more competition. Like, would we have signed Ramirez if me official hadn't got injured? Probably not.
No, I wouldn't think so. No, I wouldn't.
Because she would have been playing.
Yeah. For me, I'm happy for her because look.
100%.
Seattle, look, she's probably not going to. Does she start ahead of Ramirez, or we don't know how good Sam Kerr's going to be coming back from that injury, so we have no idea. So, but the thing is, she's going to Seattle Reign, and it's a record deal. It's $2.5 million, and it breaks Mallory Swanson's record that was $2 million. I'm happy for her. She's going to get absolutely paid, and she's going to be in Seattle. I mean, that's a win.
And she'll be a top player as well over there, I think.
100%.
Because she had so much potential, and she had such a promising start for us until the injury, and then I just think a combination of the Sam Kerr getting injured, then she got injured around about the same time, not long after, and then we had to replace her when and got Ramirez, who come in and has been really good. And then the emergence of Aggie Beaver-Jones has pushed her even further down the pecking order. You just think it seemed inevitable in the end. But it's always good to see a player who gets a long-term injury land on their feet afterwards.
100%. And the thing is, you've just said the names. So our strike force was me official, Aggie, Ramirez, and Kerr. You'd argue Mia's probably fourth choice there. We have no idea on Sam's fitness, how she's going to come back, but still, she's going to be fourth choice. So she's now going. She's going to be a starter. I mean, you don't pay a player that much money if you're not going to start them. So yeah, it's going to be great to watch them play. So all the best to her. And we now head to our winners and losers because we took on Fluminense in the Club World Cup semi-finals. On a sticky, sweltering night in New Jersey, the kind of weather where even your socks start to question your life choices, Joao Pedro turned heartbreak into heroics. Facing his boyhood club Fluminense, the £60 million man made his full Chelsea debut and didn't just make a good first impression, he kicked the door off its hinges. 2 goals, one from range that curled so sweetly it had defenders filing noise complaints. Another that came with all the poise and power of a man saying, I am him. Just like that, Chelsea are in the Club World Cup final and Joao Pedro has already made the finance team breathe a little easier. £22 million earned on the night, that's $11 million per goal. Not bad at all. And let's be honest, for a guy who hadn't actually scored from outside the box in 70 games, to ping one in after 18 minutes, that's a statement. The kind of goal that makes you scream, oh my word! into a cup of lukewarm tea. The match, though, wasn't without drama. A VAR penalty scare had Chalobah looking like he just remembered he left the oven on, but the officials eventually ruled ball to arm and Chelsea escaped. Marc Cucurella, meanwhile, played hero at the back, clearing a shot off the line, while Robert Sanchez was busy stargazing. The Spaniard is now quietly assembling a dossier as one of the most reliable left-backs in Europe. World class, the argument's building. And Enzo Maresca, he now has Chelsea in a second major European final inside 6 months. 2 finals, 80 million quid in the bank, and a tactical blueprint that might actually be working. Somewhere, a bring back Poch tweet is being quietly deleted. Fluminense 0, Chelsea 2. We are in the Club World Cup final. This is a real competition. I said from day one, we have got to treat this seriously, get to the final, make a statement. I really want to win it. And we're in the final, one-off game. Who have you got and how many have you got?
I've got 4 and 2.
I love that attitude. I went with the classic 3 and 2. I couldn't look. I'm pretty sure our losers are probably not going to be losers in a sense because we won. I'll kick off. Joao Pedro.
Yeah, it's on mine.
I mean, Chris, 2 games, 2 appearances on the winners list. 2 absolute worldies. Ladies and gentlemen, we got ourselves a player. It was probably one of the best debuts a Chelsea player's ever had. And we'll probably chat on more about iconic debuts in this week's Christmas questions, thanks to an absolute banger of a listener question. But obviously, let's go to Joao Pedro now. 2 stunning goals that sent Chelsea into the Club World Cup final. It's backed us $30 million in prize money, so that's half his transfer fee paid off just in one night. Fair play. Oh, I mean, remember the scout report? We dropped it last week. It's aged better than a bottle of Bordeaux at a Michelin star restaurant. Chris, I said that I'd bought a ticket for the hype train. I'm sitting in first class waiting for the conductor to punch my ticket because it's just so exciting to watch. Every touch, every burst, every drop of the shoulder. I was excited to watch him. And that reminds me why I love football. The excitement to watch a player. What's he going to do? What's he going to make me blow my mind with? Why was he your winner?
Well, won us the game, didn't he? Let's be fair.
Really did.
2 outstanding goals. I think the second finish was finish of someone who has composure and confidence, which we have lacked in a Chelsea forward for a while. I think it was a really, really good game from him. I thought almost everything he did was positive. Lots of good touches, movement was good, off the ball work was really good. Even if you took the 2 goals away, I'd still say he had a really good performance. It does make me laugh though, because 2 games ago, Liam Delap was the reincarnation of Didier Drogba and Diego Costa. And now 2 games later, it's Joao Pedro's got to start. It's got to be our starting striker. Delap will be a good backup.
Yeah, you will.
I think I do think we always have to be careful on building a player up to fail. He's had 2, 1 and a bit good performance now. And he's looked really good in both games. And you can get excited over that. But at the same time, I don't think people should be... I mean, I've seen some Chelsea fans after saying, I think he's going to get 20 goals in the league this year. Just calm down. It was Fluminense. You know what I mean? It wasn't Real Madrid, although at the moment, there isn't a lot of difference. Let's just see how it goes, because I think we do, as a fan base, we do this too much with new signings. They'll have one good game and everyone goes, that's it. 20 goals this year, 20 goals. And then when they haven't scored for the first 2 games of the Premier League, everyone's going, shit, absolute shit. Let me down already. Look at him. Absolute shit. This is why I think we have so many good players come. The ones who turn out to be really good are the ones who no one gets hyped over when we get them. It always seems to
Yeah.
be like the ones that go under the radar, the ones that succeed, the ones we have big expectations of fail. So as good as Pedro's looked, and he has looked brilliant, let's see how he does in the first few games of the Premier League season. If he continues like this, fine. Get on the hype train. I'll drive it if you like.
One thing I will touch on, because I don't think some listeners will know fully. If they'd have listened to the scout report, they'd know a bit. But Joao Pedro, he didn't celebrate both, which is they're both insane. So it's like, how fair play for reserving yourself. And that is, look, when he was a young lad, when he went to Rio to join an academy, his mother Flavia resigned from her job, vacated her house, and everything they had was in a car. And they had financial difficulties, and his mom went to the academy, Fluminense academy, in tears, asked for help, and they promised to help them. And they came back with better money, and they basically built him. He spent 8 years there, and
Wow.
they nurtured him from a potential to something, and then he obviously where he is now with all the money, and fair play. I mean, I know I'm usually one for going, do they celebrations? I understand this one, and that's fine. I think that's pretty well good reason.
Do you know what? I'm pretty against not celebrating goals. But if there was a reason not to do it, that's it.
Yeah, that's the actual reason. Not like I played 6 games on loan.
Not I spent 3 years there when I was 25 to 28. So
yeah,
like,
exactly.
What difference? They didn't make you, did they? Like you were there for 3 years, mate. Let's chill out. You know what I mean? Like that's an actual. You show respect to that club because he literally wouldn't be a footballer without that.
Exactly. Can you imagine if Baba Rahman took that approach to all the clubs he was loaned to? I've scored.
Never celebrate.
Can't celebrate this one. Did I play? Did I play for this lot?
Did I play for it? I think I made 2 appearances in 1994.
Yeah. My second winner was Mark Cucurella.
He's not on mine, but that's a more than fair shout.
Oh, well, when Robert Sanchez let the laxatives take full control, it was Cucurella who saved the day and preserved that clean sheet. It's superb. I love how the little finger wag when he went nah, and it worked. It was fair play. It was definitely not over that line. It weren't even close. And no Chelsea player completed more passes into the final third, 7, or one more aerial duels for a 4. Not one player dribbled past him, not once, not one. And you know what? He's become one of the best left backs on the planet. And honestly, I think him and Nuno Mendes are the best in the world conversation right now. And we have Cucurella. So this weekend, well, in a few days' time, Mendes and Cucurella are both on the same field. You could say that would decide who's best in the world. I couldn't give a shit. If I had the number 1 or the number 2 in the world left back, I'm so bloody happy because, yeah.
I don't think it's a debate anymore, though. I think the only people now who argue how good Cucurella is are people who still want to throw the fact that we paid £65 million for him at us, and
it's irrelevant.
For some reason, want to live in the past, and I was like, oh, but he was shit 2 years ago. Great, what's that got to do with now, though? Like, we're talking about him today. I'm not saying he was world class 2 years ago. He was far from world class 2 years ago, but now, as of today, comfortably top 2 left backs in the world, and hands down best left back in the Premier League. Not even close.
I mean, if you want to, obviously, let's put it a player that was world class that's had a move and was shit. Thierry Henry at Juventus. That's a throwback, I know, for some lists. Yeah. Weren't the best spell at Juventus. No one cares. No one cares about that spell. Edwin van der Sar at Juventus as well. Sorry, I don't like Juventus. Everyone knows that. So great time for me to have a go at him. He was crap as well. Well, he weren't crap, but he weren't great. Anyone care? No one gives a shit. And if you want to do more noughties into it, Vidic and Evra were pretty poor when they first joined Man United. Now they're considered legends of that team. No one cares how they started. It's how you finish your career.
Exactly.
That's why everyone forgets how good Rooney was, because everyone just remembers him at Derby or Everton. It's like, he was a fucking good player. He was like, yeah. Who was your second winner?
Christopher Nkunku.
Oh, okay,
yeah. He doesn't look like a player who's leaving.
It's a good point, isn't it? It's a very good point.
Firstly, I was surprised he started again. I've seen some people saying that it's to put him in the shop window. I don't, I don't think in a competition like this that Maresca is clearly taking very seriously, you would be playing someone to put them in the shop window. Pre-season friendlies, yeah, but not a competition that you actually see as prestigious. So I don't buy that. And Nkunku's not playing like a player who's out the door. He's playing like someone who's been told that he's staying. If anything, thought he had a really positive performance. Some good touches, linked the play well. Unlucky not to get a goal. It seems like Nkunku in the summer is completely different to Nkunku the rest of the year, because this will be 3 years in a row that we've had a really good Nkunku in pre-season, and then he disappears when the season starts. Sometimes down to injury. Last year, I don't know really what went on. But again, he's another player where I just look at it now and I think, if we can get something out of him, what another player to have around the squad.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, he did, as much as we go, oh, Bundesliga, he was very good. That's why we signed him. And then it just sort of, to be fair, it's a unique situation, this, because Nkunku he isn't like Havertz, who the hype here. Wow. Nkunku came with the hype, but then got a seriously nasty injury that pretty much ended his first season with us. It was never the same. It was never going to be good, because you've got to then get into a rhythm, get back to fitness, then get to match fitness. And then you got to, when everyone else is already, like deep into the season in experience, and you're like just starting. So it's a difficult one. It's a very big what if. I wouldn't be shocked if he stays. I really wouldn't be shocked.
And if he carries on with the attitude he's had, if he carries on with the attitude he's had in these games, I wouldn't be upset about him staying either.
100%. Oh, well, before I go to my third winner, it's minor, but apparently, according to L'Equipe, Mike Penders is close to joining Strasbourg. We knew this. What we didn't know was that Philip Jorgensen refused to join. That's interesting. Does he think he can get past Sanchez, or does he just not want to be going? I don't know. I haven't asked him. We don't all speak to each other, of people with Scandinavian heritage, but
that's odd.
He said no. Apparently, he's refused to join. So I love the comments underneath. He's a shit keeper, is he? I think he was better than Sanchez last. Oh, no, because Sanchez had a very good end to the season, didn't he? I'm walking that back.
That could be he's seen what's happened with Petrovic. That Petrovic went to Strasbourg, had a really good loan, and not just a good loan. He had a great loan. Literally couldn't have gone any better.
No, he's literally the goalkeeper of the Ligue 1, wasn't he? Yeah.
Yeah. And now he's going to Bournemouth.
Yeah, which
no disrespect to Bournemouth.
No.
But he's going from being the best goalkeeper in France, coming back to a club like Chelsea, who don't have a great goalkeeper, and now he's going to a team that aren't playing in Europe. So maybe Jorgensen's thinking, even if I go there and I'm fantastic, all what's going to happen is when I come back, they're going to sell me.
Possibly. You know what? I'll go my third and final winner. I have Enzo Maresca.
He's on mine as well.
Oh, look at all the narrative. That narrative don't exist. It just doesn't. Look, 2 major finals in 1 year. That's more than Arteta. So let that sink in. Some fans were crying for Poch back. They were. What Maresca has done isn't just impressive. It's Renaissance almost. The route may not have been the most treacherous, but you still need to beat those teams. And he made sure the players treated every single one of them like a final. Benfica, especially, I think that showed mentality for me, because to go in, we had the break and everything. There was 5 minutes remaining, 7, whatever. And then the penalty, and then Di Maria equalises. Easily, you go back in for the extra time. You could just go, oh. and they didn't. And I think that showed a lot. And his tactics seem to be clicking. The defense does look solid, and it's the attack starting to create the pressure. We dominated anyway of the ball, but there's individual brilliance as well now. He's taken this team from what was quite fragile, to be fair, where you look at the Poch saga, where you'd have the second half. The second half was disastrous every time. If we find a way to crack low blocks, we might, I'm going to loosely use that, dine at the title contender table next season. But two international finals, I suppose, in a couple of months. You back him, you believe in him. He's earned it. So I'm a happy fan. Chris, he's your winner, but why?
Similar reasons. One thing that I think we've said before that you have to do, especially with a team of young or inexperienced players, sort of at the real elite level, you have to start instilling a mentality really from the start, from the get-go. What I do, and I think Maresca got that wrong at the beginning. If you see what he did with the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, and we almost threw those games away, those competitions away as almost insignificant in the chase for getting Champions League. But then I think somewhere along the way he realised that actually Chelsea's about winning stuff. So getting as good as much as we all wanted to get Champions League, we don't celebrate that like you would do winning a trophy, and rightly so. And I think you saw the sort of switch up in mentality in that towards the end of the season, that even though we was going for top four, we started to take the Conference League a little bit more seriously because actually we probably need to win a trophy. And then we did that. We still got Champions League as well, won a trophy, and it would have been easy to throw this competition away. But he's almost carried on the mentality of, no, if we're in a competition, we're going to win the competition. And that's always been the sort of Chelsea way since Abramovich took over, really. It's been, if you're in a competition, win it then. That's why we won the Europa League.
Yeah.
Both times we was in the Europa League, we shouldn't have been there. Let's be fair. With the team that we had, we shouldn't have been in that competition. And other teams have gone into it and got knocked out because they play lesser. They play a B team, or they drop players, or they rest people, just don't take it very seriously. We never did that. Both times it was no. Come on, if we're in it, we're gonna win it, and we did. And that's sort of been the Chelsea. And I think he's realised that now and brought into it more that actually it's a club about winning. So even though yes, you can have a project and that's fine, you've got to win stuff along the way. We're not going to wait 5 years for you to win a trophy. And I think that's been a real good change up in the mentality, in the players. You've seen how seriously they've took it. You've seen how seriously Maresca's taken it. I mean, he celebrates at the final whistle like it's the Champions League.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not against that. I think if you're in a competition, win it then. That's what we're here for. I still worry about us in transition. I think again, and PSG will be the real test of this, because I've watched us back end of the season, even when we were sort of winning games regularly, and then into this competition where we've been really good throughout this competition. But at the same time, I watch us sometimes and I think a better team or a better player on the ball there, we get punished. That's where PSG will be the test, because at the moment they are a team where if they see a weakness, they kill it. They've absolutely slaughtered Inter Milan in the final of the Champions League. They've slaughtered Real Madrid in this competition. And, say what you want about Real Madrid, it's still Real Madrid. So to absolutely murder them like they did, it's still an achievement. And so that's because we've had an easy run to the final. Which, rival fans keep throwing at us. But again, it's not our fault. Man City should have beat Al Hilal then. Not my problem.
That is true.
Inter Milan shouldn't have got knocked out again. Not my problem.
Correct.
because we have, but because we've had that easier run, I don't think we've seen yet whether we've gone up a level. Because
that is a very fair point.
From the back end of the season, we was beating teams like this anyway. You know, look at how dominant we was in the Conference League, back end of the Premier League season. When you look at the teams we was playing, you know, they was all, aside from Forest on the final day, there was all that lower to mid end of the table. So we was beating those teams anyway. I want to see against PSG. I want to see if we have actually gone up a level in terms of can we compete now with top teams? Because to do something significant in the Premier League, you have to compete with the teams at the top.
You have to. Yeah,
you can't just keep beating the teams who are sat 10th to 20th.
No, and we struggled to do that, didn't we? At times.
But it's a much more positive outlook going into the season. I think
that is true.
Unless we get battered 6-0 in the final by PSG.
And at the end of the day, Ipswich Town are not in the Club World Cup. They're not going to be in the Premier League next season. We don't need to worry about them. Who's your final winner?
This is probably going to be controversial, this one.
That's why we're here.
Nicholas Jackson.
Yeah, he was nowhere near mine.
I've got reasons. This is a player who was our starting striker.
Yes.
Who fans was very patient with, I think.
Mm.
And then he made that stupid error against Newcastle, and the fans turned on him.
Error? He took a man out with his elbow.
Yeah. But it was a rush of blood to the head, wasn't it? So yeah, he made that stupid decision against Newcastle, and the fans turned on him. And then he's seen the team succeed without him, and then he's seen a new signing come in that plays his position, and then he saw another new signing come in who plays his position. Then he gets sent off again.
Yes.
Then he doesn't start this game. When Delap gets suspended, he doesn't start this game. Joao Pedro, who's only been around for about 2 days, starts the game.
Mm.
He comes on relatively late into the game. It would have been so easy for him to come on and have the Nkunku attitude of, I'm not happy about this situation. Come on and go through the motions. He didn't do that. He came on straight away, was very energetic, closing people down, making good runs into the channel. His first 2 interactions with the ball was very good. I think if people's perception of his performance changed when he didn't square the ball to Cole Palmer, I think if that never happened in the game, that little bit of play, I don't think anyone is slagging Jackson off for his performance. But as soon as he didn't square it, people then was like, "Oh, see, he's selfish." You know, we don't want this. We want Joao Pedro. We want the shiny new toy Joao Pedro or Liam Delap, who was again best thing 2 weeks ago, and now he's like, "Man, he's all right." I would say to anyone, don't look at a still image, which I've seen going around social media, by the way. I always hate it when they do still images of a play, because you can pause it at any point to fit your narrative.
Mm-hmm.
Go back and actually watch it. Cole Palmer makes a run behind the defender. He is between the ball and Palmer. The defender is in the way. So he's not on the passing line. Palmer should have hung back for the cutback because the defender went across to cover the near post. Palmer made that really difficult to square. Whether he would have squared it or not, even if he'd hung back, is irrelevant. Palmer made it and almost made the decision for Jackson that I'm going to shoot because I can't get the ball to you. If I try and pass it to you, I'm going to hit this bloke who's right in front of me. So I don't see that as a massive. But it's not a mistake. He made a decision. He's a striker and he had a shot from 8 yards. I don't care. You know what I mean?
I
Like
understand that.
if he was trying to hit it on the volley from 30 yards instead of putting Palmer through 1-on-1, I think we can moan. But he is a centre forward. He's 8 yards from the goal. He's entitled to have a shot. I still think people, if we sell Jackson this summer, if he does go, and Joao Pedro and Delap don't reach people's ridiculously high expectations of them, I think people will be saying later in the season, we probably miss Jackson, you know.
He does add a different dynamic. That's the thing.
Yeah. I think people at the moment, it's the in thing to hate on Nicholas Jackson, but people are just completely ignoring all the very positive things that he brings.
Well, yeah, we did that. Well, the fan base did this with Gallagher. There's always one player.
Yeah, we
It's
love
weird.
to pick one, and that's the player we don't like,
Yeah,
regardless
it's
of
weird.
what's happening in front of your eyes.
Yeah. My losers. I've got my first one, which technically might not be a loser anymore because things happened today. It's Moises Caicedo's ankle. That was literally yeah. When he went down clutching that ankle, I think every Chelsea fan collectively screamed into a pillow. Look, he's not just elite, is he? He's essential. He's the best in the world at what he does, and I'd make that argument, and I'd be right. You know, he's the heartbeat of our midfield, and without him, we lose structure, we lose intensity, anticipation, we lose so much, and we can survive without him. However, we have to have him to beat PSG. If we're going to beat PSG, we need him. We need him. And the fact that, look, he managed to walk it off and he's been pictured in training today gives me a little hope. It's all eyes on Sunday. If he's fit, we have a shot. You know, if not, we're going to need a lot of work because it's going to be so much harder.
I agree. Here's an interesting thought on that, though. Let's say he's not fit or he's not fully fit. Could you make a case for Andre Santos, considering he played against PSG last season and I think he got man of the match?
What about Romeo Lavia? He's not a real player, is he?
No, well, he'll be. He's in a hospital somewhere, or
somewhere. He's somewhere.
He's got his legs up with ice packs on.
Oh no. Santos,
yeah, because Santos last season, he had the experience against PSG. He's played against that midfield, and to be fair, very impressive to play against that midfield and get player of the match.
That is true. Did you have Caicedo on your losers list?
No.
Okay. Who was your first loser?
I've got Cole Palmer.
Okay. Is it because of the PSG Hakimi and Cole Palmer poster that they've done? And Cole Palmer's face is much higher than Hakimi's, and it just looks weird. It's so weird. Yeah,
it's not because of that. I don't think he had a particularly bad game. By the way, I don't think he was like great either. I just think he was okay. It's the frustration that I don't understand. The one thing that was really great about Palmer was how laid back he was. Never seemed flustered, never seemed bothered. Played the game like he was having a kickabout in his garden. I think he's lost that a little. We're seeing a much more frustrated Cole Palmer a lot now. You know, a lot of throwing his arms up in the air, a lot of moaning at people. I thought the reaction to the Jackson non-pass was way over the top. To go,
he was well pissed off. He was.
Yeah, to go booting the post and then screaming at Jackson. I just think I don't see how that's helpful to anybody. Like, and again, I could understand it if it was like, you remember the Raheem Sterling one against Wolves?
Oh, how could I forget?
If it's a really obvious square pass like that, where if you square it, he scores, no question, because the goalkeeper was coming at Sterling and he literally only had to roll it to his right-hand side and Palmer had an open goal. I could understand that reaction, but as I said, there was a defender in the way. So it wasn't a massively obvious square pass. So I just thought the reaction wasn't of a player who is full of confidence. It's almost like he started now concentrating on numbers. Like he wants to get a goal. He wants to. I have to score this, and I have to score this many, and I have to score in this game. I haven't scored yet, and he gets frustrated, and he does a lot of throwing his arms up, a lot of arguing with teammates, a lot of moaning, a lot of moping about. He didn't have that before. He was very relaxed, and I think since he sort of seems to have gone a little bit more stats focused, I think he's become a worse player.
Oh wow.
I think, before he was very Eden Hazard-esque. Hazard never looked bothered, did he?
No.
You never seen Hazard having an argument.
No. No.
He was like, it's football, innit? I'm not that bothered. If I score today, I score. If
That's
I don't
nice,
score
cool.
today, I'll score 2 next week. Don't worry about it. That's what Palmer was like. But now he looks like someone who, I haven't scored today, and that's really going to piss me off. Just score 2 next game. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I just think he needs to, and again, this is where I think it comes with. I just think he needs the breakaway, reset, and come back a lot more relaxed because he just seems very frustrated with his teammates, himself, everything at the minute. Actually, it just seems like football's pissing him off at the minute.
My final loser is Noni Madueke because of the moment we look. I don't know I've touched on it in the news, but this is why I wrote this. Look, the moment we heard that he'd agreed that 5-year deal, I felt that was the curtain closed on his Chelsea career. The 22-minute cameo he had looked every bit like it. He had no energy, there was no spark, no urgency.
Yeah, that's true.
And I was shocked that Maresca brought him on, to be honest.
I know I was.
Because I've made my point that he should probably look and go, should I go to Arsenal for a clean break when the fans are like they are? But he looked mentally clocked out. He looked mentally done. And when you sub him on now, you're kind of just going to play with 10 men. If he's Arsenal back, if he is set his heart on Arsenal, move on. You got to move on then. Why play him? You've got the value ain't going to change. You're just risking a transfer then if he gets injured. That's the only thing you're doing. And it's at the detriment of the team because he didn't look to me like this is what you said about Nkunku as a winner. Nkunku looks like a player who has a point to prove. Madueke don't. And that's what I don't get. Why are we playing him? What a waste of a sub. What a waste.
Yeah, well, it is strange, isn't it, to give minutes to a player who's agreed personal terms with another club.
Yeah. Just bizarre.
Over someone like Tyreek George, who's
exactly
barely kicked a ball at this tournament.
Yeah.
It is a weird one.
Yeah. Oh, who's your second loser?
Liam Delap.
Well, he didn't play.
Well, I've got him because, like I said, he came in. Big striker signing. Number 9 shirt. That was the first mistake. But number 9 shirt. Could he usurp Nicholas Jackson? I think he probably managed to do that. Especially in Maresca's thinking. I think he almost forced his hand and said, I'll be first choice, Jackson's the backup. I think that's sort of how we've seen it going. Then Joao Pedro comes in, but Delap is still number 1 striker, I think, in everyone's eyes. And it was, how's Joao Pedro going to fit in? Is he going to play off the left? Is he going to, will he rotate? How's he going to fit in with Delap in the team? That was sort of the consensus, wasn't it, when we signed Joao Pedro? And then Delap went and got a stupid yellow card, which suspended him for this game. And all he did was he opened the door for Joao Pedro to take his place. And he walked right through it.
Yeah.
And now, on Sunday, I would not be shocked if Pedro starts. And
I think he has
Delap
to.
sits on the bench.
I think
Pedro
has to.
It was such a stupid thing. When you know you're on a yellow card, to get a yellow card for dissent, when you know there's 2 other strikers who can come in and take your place. And you have, he hasn't been phenomenal either, Liam Delap. He's been okay. he's probably been better than I was expecting him to be, but I don't think he's blown anyone away with how good he's been. So it's not like he's scored 6 goals and you think, well, if I get suspended, no one's going to take my place because look how good I've been. You haven't been that good. So actually, Joao Pedro's come in and has scored more goals than you in this competition already.
Yeah.
In one game.
And
So
2 weeks ago, he was sat on a beach enjoying his holiday.
yeah, exactly. So I just think it was such a stupid move from him to open the door, and now he's got a real fight on his hands to get back in the team.
Who are your other losers?
That's it. Only had the two.
Oh, nice. So we'll go straight to the emoji review because I had to, didn't I? I went with the you thought Brazilian flag, listener. I went with the shush emoji because we silenced the scout report critics of that Joao Pedro one. I'm so proud of that. You know, he really was
sensational.
He was amazing, and I want to know your emoji. What is it?
I'm gonna go with the trophy.
Ooh,
because
tempting.
another final, and could do something that we tend to do, just be the first club to win this trophy in this format as well.
Does that mean it's a real game? Is Sunday a real game, Chris?
Oh, do you know what?
Come on.
I'd say it's halfway between the two of being a
fucking
real
hell.
game and not a real game. Because to be fair, we've won the Club World Cup before.
But not in this format.
Yeah, but this feels different. But like I said, I don't think we could win this on Sunday.
Yeah.
And in 5 years' time, be thinking, wow, that was a really good, prestigious competition to win. Or you could look back on it and think, that was a fucking waste of time, wasn't it? Because they scrapped that format 2 years later.
That is true. That is possible, actually. You never know with this lot.
So, yeah, we just don't know. But do you know what? It's a final. We're playing PSG, who are current European champions. Let's play it like a final.
We'll move to the Whiskered Warrior. I've won it. I've got a fuck off. Anyone challenging me this week? No chance. Chris, you went Enzo. Not bad. The wheel went Dewsbury Hall. That was bad. I had Joao Pedro. Oh, come on. If you disagree,
You can play paddle.
because I'm happy. I'm happy with that. And it's a shame that Ollie isn't here because it puts myself level with Mr. Ollie on 3 for 3 in this little Lion of the Week competition. I'm gutted, actually, because I really wanted a proper challenge. And Joao Pedro is the actual Lion of the Week. And he's not even in our actual Lion of the Week list. I have to add him. That's how this is just.
That's how new he is.
That's how new he is that I've had to add him to the list. The fact that it's such a weird thing, this competition, that you can just add a player. It feels like cheating. I feel like I've cheated. Yeah, Joao Pedro. Obviously, we're taking on PSG. No, we're not. I've got to go for the match preview. Getting too far ahead of myself. Match preview. PSG Club World Cup final. They top Group B, 6 points. How'd they do it? They beat Atletico, Seattle Sounders. They lost to Botafogo. Then in the round of 16, beat Inter Miami, beat Bayern in the quarters, dismantled Real Madrid in the semi-finals. Player spotlight. Honestly, the entire team.
Everyone.
The entire team. They are the best team in the world right now. On form.
They are.
Everyone's a star. They've probably got the Ballon d'Or winner in that team. It's probably Dembele. If I'm picking out anyone other than the obvious Dembele, I've got Nuno Mendes at left back because, like I said, between him and Cucurella at left back in the world, let's see who comes out on top there. But I get to say, for the first time in this Club World Cup, the last time PSG beat Chelsea. Oh yes, they've beaten us before. 9th of March 2016. It wouldn't be a preview if I didn't tell you what the number one was in the UK on that day. It was 7 Years by Lucas Graham, which I've been told is. Well, apparently it's 10 years old now. I was like, is it? So it was number one. That would make sense if it was released in, whatever. Who cares? What I do care about is Line of the Week predictions. I tell you what, I've only picked 3 players this tournament. I've gone Pedro Neto, and then I went on a 4 streak of Delap. Have to go Joao Pedro. Have to. He was so good.
You're going him again.
Yeah, and if he scores and wins it.
Yeah, that would be.
Where's your stat? Where do you want your statue?
Who to go with?
Is Joao Pedro on the wheel? Don't fit the wheel. Joao Pedro's going on the wheel now because he can.
despite everything I said earlier,
Oh no.
I'm gonna go with Cole Palmer
Okay.
because I haven't seen a final yet that he hasn't turned up in.
Can't argue that. Cole Palmer. I'll write that in. The wheel's just taking the piss now. So it went with Romeo Lavia, Mark Yu,
Injured.
Mamadou Sarr, Liam Delap was not a bad shout. Nkunku, not bad. Dewsbury Hall, it's gone Mark Yu again. The wheel's just not taking it seriously anymore. It's just taking the piss. So
Mark Yu, fourth choice striker.
fourth choice striker. He's going to be nowhere. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see on that one, listener. Ending our match preview with the segment Blue versus Who. 3 for 3. Can you get them all three? One of them isn't multiple choice this week for a good reason.
And it is a team that I do know this time. So
This is true. This is true. You should get 3 for 3 on this.
we'll see.
PSG's official mascot is called Jermaine. But what animal is Jermaine, Chris? Is it a rooster, a lynx, a bear, or a penguin?
Fucking hell.
So easy. I won't lie. Until I looked and did some research today, I had no idea who he was or why he was.
Is it a rooster?
It isn't, and I put that in because I thought that might, because I thought of the I'm going to get this wrong. Lecoq, you know that brand from France.
Yeah.
I thought
yeah.
that I thought it's actually a lynx. Again, I didn't even know this Jermaine existed this morning. So
What a weird animal to choose as your mascot.
Yes, yeah. I mean, at least Brighton went with the Gulls. They've got Sally and I don't know, Sully, is it? I don't know. We'll probably sign them. Number two, I think you'll get this. No multiple choice. Who was the manager of Chelsea when they last played PSG?
When did we last play PSG is the question.
I've literally already said it on the show. It's literally that date, the 9th of March 2016. That was the last time we played them.
So
it's difficult, that.
March 2016, did you say?
Yeah, March 2016.
So 15-16 season.
Oh.
So hold on. Conte?
It wasn't. It was Gus Hiddink. Goose Hiddink.
Gus Hiddink, fuck me, yeah. To be fair,
I have no memory of this.
That should have just been the go-to because Gus Hiddink has managed us, I think, every year.
Every year, he's always there.
Month.
Which of these players? Final question: has never played for both teams, Chelsea and PSG? Who has never played for both? George Weah, Mateo Kesman, Enrique De Lucas, or Loic Remy?
I'm pretty sure
one of them won a Ballon d'Or.
George Weah definitely did.
He did win a Ballon d'Or. That is true.
Yeah, he definitely played for both too.
Yeah, I'll allow that. I'll allow it. Yes, you're right there.
I'm pretty sure Kesman went to PSG at some point. I don't know why I think that, but it's just something in the back of my mind telling me that did happen. Who was the other options?
Enrique De Lucas and Loic Remy.
I don't even know who Enrique De Lucas is. So
he was the signing that we made before we got bought, basically by Roman, because we had fuck all money.
Right. Okay.
I don't even think we paid for him. I think he was a free agent.
Loic Remy is French, but I don't know whether he ever played for PSG. I'm going with Remy.
You're right. I threw in Remy as a little bit of a trick because I thought, I wonder if you're going to think, but it was Leon and Leo.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. Nice. You got two. Well, you got 1 for 3. But
yeah, I'll take it.
Christmas questions. I've got a really good one. Blue is the colour pod. There's your shout out. Asked in your memory, where does that Joao Pedro debut rank for a first full start for Chelsea? For me, it's up there, but I think everyone's forgotten one of the best debuts of all time for Chelsea. Oscar versus Juventus. He scored 2 bloody outstanding goals in that Champions League game.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't beat that for me. And Hazard's was good. Costa against Burnley was good.
Yeah.
I can't top that. Those goals
David
were
Luiz against
insane.
Man United.
Yeah. I did think Mario Stanic as well. That's a
I
proper throwback.
again, I know it was officially Joao Pedro's debut.
Competitive game.
Yeah, but I mean,
No, it counts.
does it though?
Yeah. It's a competitive game. Can't it's a competitive game.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was a good debut. I still don't think it was as good as. I mean, to be fair, it's nowhere near Oscars.
No. I
Oscar
mean
scored
that was,
those 2 goals past one of the best goalkeepers ever
yes.
in a Champions League game.
He did. And then you know what? Fair play. He made financial wealth for an entire future of his generation. So I've got nothing against him. Shame he didn't stay though. Mourinho loved that guy.
Yeah,
Sold matter for him. Fuck it hell.
yeah. So, I mean, Cesc Fabregas against Burnley as well could be a shout
That is
for that pass alone.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when we knew.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's how you know you got a player.
Yeah. Oh. You know what? I'll end it quickly with Quiet Turtle. If we win this competition, is it bigger than winning the Conference League or even the FA Cup? I'd say it's bigger than winning the Conference League because of the fact that
it's bigger than winning the Conference League because there was actual teams in this.
Yes, we've played teams that would all win the Conference League, in my opinion. I would say every team.
Yeah,
from
every team we've played would win the Conference League.
ES Tunis?
Maybe not them. They are a Conference League team.
But yeah. I mean, yeah. So yeah, basically, not bigger than the FA Cup, I don't think.
It's not bigger than the FA Cup. It's nowhere near the FA Cup.
No,
Don't be silly.
let's calm down. Let's calm down. Right, listeners, we're at the end of another episode. Of course, we can't do Lone Army. There's only just us two. So thank you for tuning in. Before we go, don't forget, proudly partnered with Head in the Game, mental health charities in football, sport, wellbeing, and community. Find out more, headinthegame.co.uk. Treat yourself well. We're back on Monday. Got winners and losers from the biggest game in club football. Chelsea, PSG, Sunday, DAZN. Are you signed up to DAZN Premium yet? Until next time, that'll be us signing off.
You've been listening to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram by searching for At the Bridge Pod. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, leaving us a review is always appreciated.